This is a short demo of an instrument called the Mohan Veena. It's becoming increasingly popular. It was invented by or designed by Vishwa Mohan Bhatt, a great Indian musician. There are a number of similar instruments made by other great players. You should also check those out. So essentially this is a slide guitar adapted for Indian music. You can see it's basically an American guitar in style, like an F-hole arch-top jazz guitar, flipped on its back, so you play it on your lap. The big difference, of course, are how the strings are laid out. Now, before I start with the strings, you know, many people are interested in this number. I think every single person that's ever seen the instrument has asked what this is for. This is basically, this is a resonator made out of metal, and it's just to add a little volume and changes the timbre of the instrument a bit. A lot of Indian instruments have some sort of gourd type attachment that helps the instrument resonate. Now onto the strings. There are, in this particular instrument, there are three main melody strings that you play with a steel, and so much like a lap steel in Western music. In addition to the three melodies, the melodies are tuned root 5 root, an octave up. So in my case it's D, A, and D an octave higher. In addition to those melody strings, there are 4 chikari strings, or 4 drone strings, and those are comprised of a very high 2 octaves above the root D. Then in addition there are again lower D, and then there's, in my case, a major 7th and then the 5th. Now these can be adapted to whatever mode or rag you're playing, but this is, in this case, this is for something I've been working on lately. So in addition to those strings, I have on this particular instrument, there are 12 sympathetic strings, and the number of sympathetics vary across the different versions of the Veena. Many Indian instruments use sympathetic strings, and the sympathetic strings actually are not plucked directly usually. They are made to resonate as you play the melody strings, and so in my case there are 12, and I have them tuned to the rag, or the equivalent in Western music would be a mode, or approximate equivalent. The mode would be a Lydian mode, and so we have 12 sympathetics. Let's see if I can get some of the sympathetics to ring out a little bit. Okay. So right there, even as I play that root, if I give it a good bang, you can hear the twangy sound, and that is actually the sympathetic ringing out underneath. In fact, I'll pluck that E or the D, and I'll stop it, and you ought to still hear the sympathetic ringing. Yeah. The sympathetics ought to pick up the various tones of the rag, of the mode. There, it's picking up the major 7th. There's the root again. Now that actually wasn't the Lydian mode. So to hear just a little bit of something in that mode, So there you have it. There's a little demo of the Mohan Veena playing the Lydian type mode or rag yaman. I don't know much about Indian music, I have to admit. I do enjoy playing this in clubs and coffee shops, and fortunately no one's thrown any big objects at me while I'm playing, even though I'm not really playing the authentic stuff. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit about the instrument. Thanks.